Hello everybody, Gisele Grenier here. So in this video lesson, not really a tutorial, I'm pulling from two questions from my list of emails that I've been getting. So the first one is, I want to learn how to do mixed media collages with animals. Okay, that's a good one. And the other one was, I have so many pieces of scrap paper. Do you have some suggestions what I can do with them? All right, so I'm going to do those two. And I'm actually going to be making a mixed media canvas. Wow, that's different. I'm working on a canvas this time. A mixed media canvas incorporating a cow, some flowers, paint, and scrap paper. Now I've got full sheets of paper because I'm going to be painting them, then I'm going to be tearing them. This is going to be a long lesson, so just to know. So you can watch the step-by-step I don't know if you can do it in Facebook, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can speed up the audio. I already speak really fast, so you can speed up the audio. And in Facebook, I think you can speed up the audio just to make it go a little bit faster. This is for beginners. I'm teaching beginners, so if you're an intermediate, you can probably skip through a lot of the stuff, all right? So you can, I'm working on something small. So this is a little, oh, what the heck size is this? This is, what, 4x4? 5x5. So 13, almost 13 centimeters. But the canvas I'm working on is a 6x6. And I already, primed it with something for another project, but I'm going to cover all this up. So I've got a picture of a cow here. Now, I've got a full-size picture for reference because, my eyes. And I cut out a small piece. This is to be used for measuring. Okay, so I'll talk about that in a bit. I've got a whole bunch of dictionary paper. It doesn't matter that they're all torn. I've got some other stuff here. You just want just pieces of paper, preferably white paper, because we're going to be painting them. And let's see. I just got some cheap little flowers here. I've had these for quite a few years. And I've also got some little scrap pieces of paper here. For product, I may pull out more. I may not use all of them. I don't know. So we'll have to see how it goes. Decor Medium Matte Medium as for my glue. And my white gesso as my sealer. And, well, you know what? It'll have to be from here. So the Decor Medium Fluid Acrylics. Cobalt Turquoise Hue, Cerulean Blue, Phthalo Blue, Quinacridone Burnt Orange, Transparent Red Iron Oxide, Quinacridone Magenta, and Titanium White. I may, if I'm looking for something more opaque, I'm just going to pull from the gesso. See how fast I talk? Okay. So first thing I want to do is I want to prime this canvas. It's a gallery wrapped canvas, so you don't need to frame it. It just goes on the wall. If you get one like this, this was picked this up at Curry's a few years ago. The manufacturer, it's cheaply put together. It wasn't a cheap price, but see how the canvas is all overwrapped? You would have to, trim this down if you're going to hang this on a nail. So just find the shortest part and grab some scissors and do it before you've done the art, and just do this. That way your canvas isn't sitting when it's hanging up on the wall. It's not sitting on this because it's not going to sit flat. So if you hang it like that, okay. So just trim that down and make sure you have it the right way. All right, so that's that. You go away. All right, so I'm going to gesso this, and this, I primed a whole bunch of these because I had done art and then just covering them up. I'm going to use my number 8 Bristle Bright, and this is tedious, and I just want to apply gesso roughly. I already got it on my arm. Roughly. And I want to work it up and down. Make sure I have the right area here. So can you do this on cardboard? I'm getting gesso everywhere. Can you do this on cardboard? Yeah, but depending on how heavy you make the stuff. This little cow painting is inspired. I'm inspired by this for the design of Frida Khalo. Phenomenal artist. Look her up. Her story is just unreal. And so that's why I'm going to put the flowers on the cow. But depending, I was going to use metal gears and cogs for that. I thought, no, I want to do something more, inspired by Frida. And then she always had flowers in her hair. If you're doing something with metal, just make sure that your piece can actually handle it. On the sides, I'm just gessoing in a rough fashion, and I'm not worried about complete coverage. You just want to make sure that your piece can handle it. So this little thing here would not be able to support metal. It would bend, but you can mount it to a piece of masonite or just use masonite. Right. I have so many canvases that I gotta start using them up. I was actually going to make a big donation, but the place where we were going to make a donation, they're not taking any. I was going to donate to the schools, but all the schools are shut down because of the pandemic. So then I thought, oh, seniors home. Well, the seniors home is the last place you want to make right now a donation to because of the pandemic. That pandemic freaking ruins so much stuff. Okay, public service announcement, people. And if you give me hate mail, I'm just going to delete it. Please, please stay safe. Wear a mask. They did a thing where what did Joe say? Out of crap! Now I can't remember. Out of 10 people that been diagnosed with COVID, 5 of them are 13 years and under. Or something. I don't know. There was some weird. It's more kids are getting them. Apparently, it's got something to do with for the Christmas break. And, come on, people. The way I look at it is, it's not so much for me like protecting myself. Well, that's one thing, but it's our seniors. I mean, these people, they raised us and took care of us, and family and all that stuff, and it's them that I'm worried about. Okay, public service announcement and rant over. So now I'm just putting another layer on here, and I'm being a little bit more rough because when we put our background on here, I want all this brush stroke to show through. So if you've got little ones at home, this would be a great time. Get them to participate. So just rough, rough, rough. Make sure you've got some light and some dark areas, and hopefully the glare is not too strong. What you don't want is what you don't want is that, just a glob of paint. But having brush texture like this is fine. Okay? But even me saying that, if you want globs of paint, it's your artwork. So go for it. I'm not going to put too much texture right here because Mr. Cow is going to go here, or Mrs. Cow. I'm going to call her Mrs. Cow. And my canvas is bent here, so I'm going to fill that in a little bit more. If you've got canvases that are really wonky, when it's dry on the back, just spray it with water and it'll tighten it. You don't really need to buy all these canvas tighteners and all that stuff. Because if it's a cotton canvas, when you add water and it dries, it will shrink. All right, so that's beautiful. And cover that up. So now we have to wait for it to dry. So while that's drying, should actually put that down in front of the furnace vent. I'm going to paint these things. Now, I don't know how much paper I'm going to need because I've never done this before. So take out the scrap bits there, get the flat sheets. So I'm going to create a bunch of different cow colors. So I'm going to work primarily with, a chromatic black, and then work with some browns, like transparent red iron oxide and all that stuff. So let's do that. I'm going to make him a little bit big, or make her a little bit bigger than this. So what I can do is I could actually just measure and then do all that stuff. All I'm going to do is paint a whole bunch of stuff. Then I'm going to rip them into strips and then fill it in like a puzzle. Don't have room. Okay, on top of my garbage can. All right, and I got my little tag here for her ear. All right, so let's. Blue is going to be for the canvas. I don't need that. I'm going to take my vintage colors. So quinacridone burnt orange, which is a PR206. And that's transparent. Transparent red iron oxide is PR101. And I hope Decor is back to making these again. And then quinacridone magenta, which is PR122. So it's a red. Another transparent. And I don't want to use white because it's going to make it opaque. Let me throw a little bit of phthalo blue in there. Get some darkness, and that's going to be for the background. All right, I'm going to get, oh, you know what? I should have got a big brush. I'm going to use this round brush. So all I'm going to do is come in, get some water. Actually, not water. I'm going to get matte medium. I want to thicken up the pages at the same time. No, I don't. Wrong step, sorry. Erase that. Can't do that because they won't tear properly. I should have wrote this down. All right, transparent red iron oxide, and I'm just going to spray this. If I was painting pieces like this, and yes, I can do the matte medium. So I'm going to spray this just to help the paint flow. And I'm just going to put the paint down like that. And let's just grab some quinacridone burnt orange. Let's get some more water. And I can fold this up. I can crumple it. That's why I sprayed it first. All right. If you have spray misters, use those. Whatever you want. And what we're going to end up doing, or what I'm going to end up doing, if you're following along, I'm going to cut these into strips and use that to create a collage in the shape of Mrs. Cow. We have to come up with a name for her. Okay, that's one. Oh, seriously, I have no place for this. Oh. Okay, on top of my water bucket. Let's take this piece here and we'll a little bit of magenta in here. That's going to be for her nose. I like doing a bunch of different layers. Now, you know what I didn't do on here? I didn't put the water down first. Too late. Too late. Get some dripping. Let's get some of this here. If you've got scrapbook paper, you can use that. That's fine. You just want all the paper covered up. And if you need something that's white with, you know, painted around, and that's fine. You can use it at that point. Okay, number 2. Should put it on the floor, but if Joe walks in and I've got paper like this on the floor, he's gonna tan my hide. Okay, let's spray again. This should be enough. Some phthalo blue, and I'm going to take quinacridone burnt orange. Not liking that. A bit more quinacridone burnt orange. There we go. Let's take some transparent red iron oxide in there. There we are. Chromatic block. He wants to, ooh. See, I wouldn't be able to replicate this again. It's like a burnt umber. We're just getting some darks and just cow colors. You can also crumple that. do this. Background idea for book of backgrounds. Oh, like that. Okay. I'm out of room now. Sugar. Oh, you know what? Okay. Let's really get the heat gun. No, I'm not. Because I'm going to lose all these lines. Let's put that over here on top of my coffee cup. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think I have enough. Oh, I need something with that what has white. I need something with white. We can just use the full paper, but I want to tint it a little bit. So I'm going to get my titanium white. Uh-oh. This is dried out. Uh-oh. Yeah. This is a new bottle. Okay. Well, that's no good. What am I going to do? I have to use gesso. Frick. Frick. All right. And I'm just going to tint this. I'm going to tint this with a little bit of transparent red iron oxide. And I want it creamy. See how opaque it is? You got to be careful. I just don't want pure white paper. Might as well do the whole thing. So we're going to cut out these pieces. We're going to use the little template. We're going to cut out these pieces. You can also do it from scratch. That's no big deal. You can do that as well. If you've got just regular scrapbook paper, you can use that and just cut those pieces up. But what we're going to do is cut up tiny little pieces. Now you can. I'm not going to use a paper cutter. I'm going to cut it by hand. And you can, we're just going to collage it together. Okay, so she's got a bit of a, looking here, she's got a bit of a brown patch here. Her nose is going to be magenta. I'm going to make that quinacridone magenta. And let me just grab a little bit of that. Get some water. Hopefully you guys can see. Only need but that much. Oopsie. Okay, let's put that aside. And I'm just going to clean this up here. I'm going to still. Oh, okay. Sorry, you guys. Don't have a lot of room surrounding me. Okay, I'm going to take all this stuff. I'm going to hang on to these little bits, take this stuff, and kind of shove it over here underneath the microphone. All right, so now let's take our canvas. Okay, I'm going to have to dry this by hand because it's still wet. If you've got a canvas that's in really bad shape, you can put gesso like this, but then you can also just collage a whole bunch of paper on top to cover the whole thing up. And while I'm here, I'm going to spray in there. Come on. If your canvas was unprimed, you couldn't do this. Look now. Tight like a drum. Tight like a drum. If it was just raw canvas, the water would show through. Look at that. Nice and tight. What's the top? Oh, the top is this way. All right, Pookie. So we're going to, so that's going to be basically my template here. And I'm thinking I'm going to put her body right around there. So let's put her here. Yeah, put her right around here. So I want to put some color in there. And what we'll do, let's get our cobalt turquoise blue. Really, it's whatever color you want. It doesn't matter. This is a brand new bottle. I forgot to take the plastic off. And this is cerulean blue. And if you don't have cerulean blue, phthalo blue white with a speck of green. And actually, let's get some. Oh, I've got phthalo blue there, and I'll have to use gesso. I'm trying to get this project to be under an hour. I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, brush. Oh. Dry brush. So what I'm going to do, and I've got to get my phone here because I get my picture of my cow. All right, picture of my cow. I've got her in front, so I don't have any room. And let's just take some of this dark blue. And I'm just going to put this on here. My brush is bent like crazy. Oh my goodness. And on the bottom part, you just dry brushing. It's going to be really fuzzed out. You want it to be nice and rough. Oh, just like that. And then we're going to overlay the other color. This will be a little bit lighter. Where's the bottom? This is the side. All right, bottom. And now, where's the top? Sorry, I have to make sure I get this right. Then I'm going to take some gesso right on my brush. And I'm just going to fuzz that in there. And this background basically could be a background that works with your own decor. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just fading that in there. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the background, I'm waiting for this to dry, taking the background and I'm kind of filling it right around to the sides. More white. Just nice and soft. More white. So where's the top? That's the top. So the top parts are going to be lighter. And then it's going to fade down into the blue, where it's going to be a little bit darker. Just don't overblend it, unless that's the look that you want. I want it to be grungy. And the bottom, I'm just going to take a bit more blue, take whatever paint's left over, and fade that in there. Okay, working with a gallery wrapped canvas is a lot more work. And my hands are killing me. Oh. Where's the top? That's the top. All right, gonna take that dirty brush, come in with more of the blue. Now I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that turquoise color. This one you gotta work a little bit faster. And I'm just gonna bring that up. Now Mrs. Cow is gonna be right there. And I need to make sure there's contrast. Now I'm going to grab some white. I'm going to grab a little bit of phthalo blue. Just to make it a little bit more intense. Grab a bit more white. Just in the whatever's left over in your brush. And I want a lot of texture in here. This will be the first layer, and then we're going to come back and do another layer. No water. Because if you get water in there, it's just going to blend everywhere. Let me grab a little bit more phthalo blue, a little bit more white, and I'm going to take a speck of transparent red iron oxide. A bit more. Come on. There we go. I want it to be nice and dark. Take a bit more of that greeny blue. Now she's going to be here, but you know, this is just a good way to get some work done, just to get some practice, you know, doing your brush strokes. A bit more green. Where is she? Let me grab a bit more white. Oops. Load up the brush. So now we're working on our second layer, and this is what we can soften it just a little bit. The beauty about this is if you do something that's too dark or something that's too light, you can always add another layer. Just don't overblend it, unless that's the look that you want. Take a little bit of green. Just going to soften those edges a little bit. Now she's going to be, where because she's a black cow, she's going to be transparent. So I want to make sure that the colors aren't too dark. So that way there's not going to be any contrast. So I want to make sure there's adequate contrast. But I want to make sure that it's really dark on the bottom. Phthalo blue. Take some quinacridone burnt orange. Yes. I'm going to really soften this out. Now when you're working with canvas, one of the things that happens, you can see it's starting to speckle. Because it's so textured, the paint isn't getting all the way through. That's because it's a dry paint. I didn't add any water. So once we get this layer done, we're going to add a glaze, a wash of color, which is going to sink into the canvas. Just going to blend that out. You can use your fingers if you want. The background in this piece is extremely important to me, so that's why I'm taking the extra time. Spending a little bit more time on that. On top of that, I have to wait for that paper to dry. So you can skip ahead if you want, but if you're a beginner, you've never done this before and you're interested on making a collage, a cow collage, then you can just keep watching. I'm just softening the edges. Throwing a little bit more, so I'm making sure there's enough contrast in there. I'm going to bring a little bit more white in here. Okay, now I'm going to start adding some visual texture. If you've got arthritis in your wrists, be careful of this technique. Working my way down. Okay. The horns, I'm going to make the horns on her probably a little bit darker to get that contrast. This isn't too bad. It's going to be magenta and everything here is fine. So now I just have to basically take whatever leftover paint I have, thicken that up a little bit here. Then we'll let it dry. Then we're going to add a wash of color. Now the wash of color can be whatever color you want, as long as it's in the blues. You're going to just thin it down with water and apply it to the whole canvas so it sinks in. Or you can just let it dry and then just go back and add in, add more paint. That's up to you how you want to do that part. All right. Making sure I push that in there. I don't want to work the paint too thickly because that's why I went with the fluid acrylics, because it's going to be collage work. I don't want any heavy paint lines showing through. Let's just take the sides now and give this a bit of a chance to dry. And the sides too, I mean, you can do that any way you want. Like if you want to wrap paper around it and some of that text paper, that's totally fine. It's completely up to you. There's no rules on how, this is the top. There's no rules on how you have to finish the sides of a canvas. Some people like framing these canvases. That's again, like I said, that's up to you. Let me just bring a bit of white down here. I accidentally touched that there. Oh, I like that. Bring that white down like this. I love the grungy street look. Grungy street look? Grungy look. See that texture? Yes, yes. I'm gonna fade that out a bit. How now, brown cow? All right. Are those papers dry yet? And that one's fine. All right, so where are we now? Like that. I'm going to wipe that out. Now to apply the wash, oh my goodness, you're going to need to make sure you don't have an ounce of white paint on your brush. And with that, preferably a clean area, which I don't have. I mean, you can even drip the paint and whatever, that's however you want to do it. Let me just dry that for a sec. Take whatever color you want to focus on. So if I want to focus on, this cerulean, so you're going to make a nice wash, and then you're going to start at the bottom, and you're just going to do that. Make sure your canvas is dry though. Oh, you know what? I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I hate doing this banging on camera because it makes such a mess. Yeah, see? Everywhere. Okay, I'm going to put that aside to dry. Don't need you anymore. And right now we don't need you anymore, but there's a lot of paint on there. fingers in the canvas. Tool bit. Right, so now what I need to do is I'm going to just tear some pieces to resemble a shape of this. So let's put some patches. Let's just put some patches. I'm just going to create some little bits of this. Small little pieces. And I can turn around if I want to have that. And I can overlap another. So you basically, all I'm going to do is fill this in. I'm going to make her a little bit bigger. So if I want to put a little bit patch of that there. And let's say I want to put another little brown patch up here. I'm creating that contrast here. Like that. And where's the blue? And what we can do is we can also trim this. You can also trim that with scissors if you want. Now, ideally what we can do with this here, okay, we can take our mixed media and we can actually glue this down onto her. And then we use this big one here, or what's on your phone, as the reference. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So because it's going to be like it's picking everything out to make sure that it fits. I'm going to make her nose a magenta color. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing this. You can just watch, fast forward, or work it on your own. And once I get a general feel for the outside edge and I like the colors, then I'm going to glue them down. Whoops. I need that to be darker. Again, you can do this freestyle if you want. This is just a helpful technique if you're not a strong painter. All right, so that's that. And then just take different parts of the blue paper and fill in the rest of the cow. And then the beige. And make sure it's just strips, not whole pieces of paper. Just that way you get some interest. And the wonkier the better. It can be upside down. Right now I know it's looking kind of rough. Now, do I like that color combination? I think I would have preferred making this a little bit darker, so I may add another wash once I've got it all put together. So I'm going to get my matte medium. This is also a great way to use up your papers. Now, when we do this collage part, it is going to take a little bit of time to dry. So make sure you have a reference piece to fall back on for placement. All right, so I'm going to put her, again, you don't have to work directly on top of her, on top of the cow. You can do this completely freestyle. You see, once you start overlapping the pieces, they take on a life of their own. It is honestly a little bit harder doing it this way because I'm having to match her outline, but this piece is more for you guys who you just want to make a mixed media piece. You don't want to learn how to paint a cow, which is totally fine. Make sure you just overlap the stuff. Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's put you right there. And the white, we're going to have to really get that extended. So I'm just going to continue on doing this. Maybe if I can remember, I'll put some background music playing so it's not so quiet. And you can layer this as much as you want. So even though I'm putting this here, I can come back in and put something else on top. That way we've got a lot of action going on. And I'm going to trim that after. It's her news. Just a cute, cute little thing. I'm going to trim the outside edge so I don't have to fuss so much. Her ear, I'm going to have to be creative because her ear is chopped off. And I'm putting a tag on her ear. We just started watching Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, which is quite interesting. Like that. Just make sure when you do your dry fit that you like your color combination first. The blue, I think I could have made a little bit darker. Come on. Beige, beige, beige. Let's do this. Oops. And we can also After the fact, you can also use a pencil to add some sketchy lines. All right. This will also thicken up your piece. I want to start overlapping now. This actually doesn't matter because there's going to be flowers here. Whoops. Want the text there. And I'm just going to trim around the edge. Oh, my neck is getting sore. Should have put the radio on. Now the products I'm using, they're non-toxic, but if you get when you get them on your fingers, just make sure you wash your hands because they stick like a son of a gun. Get back over there. All right. And when I paint her eye, I'm going to be painting her eye with paint. I'm just going to make sure that I don't completely cover her eye because I need that placement. Look at that. That is neat. Okay, what do I want to do here? Get it dark. So you see now you know why I made all those different variations of color. Again, scrapbook paper would work just fine. You just want to make sure it's nice and thick and overlap. Okay, what do I want to do there? I think I want to paint that metallic color. I think I want to paint that metallic because the flowers are going to be around there. Will I even be able to paint it? Yeah, I'm going to paint that metallic. Which metallic? I don't know what favorite. Frida Khalo loved green. Should I make it green or make it black? She was like loved vibrant colors. Oh, so I'm going to use the matte metallic in charcoal. Just going to paint that. There we go. That didn't take much. And this is where the flowers are going to be, but the thing is the blue flowers are dark. I don't want it to be too dark. Oh, there goes Mia. I don't want it to be too dark. The kids are outside making a snowman in front of our gate. Put that one right there. She, when we do our Zoom calls with our clients, I don't even bother now shushing her because, with the pandemic, everybody's working from home. So people find it funny with how she does her barking. I think I need to overlap some pieces because there's too many solid pieces here. but I want it to be different values. Where's that light yellow piece here? Overlap that because we're going to trim that down. So anywhere where it's solid, there's not even any text here, I just want to overlap to create more texture. Now this project isn't for everybody, but I would love it if you guys actually tried it first before saying, ugh. Just try it. You can't say you don't like doing something if you haven't tried it. This is so outside my comfort zone. Outside my comfort zone. But wouldn't I be a kind of a hypocrite telling you guys to try something before you say you don't like it if I haven't tried it myself? I would be a true hypocrite. Okay, girly. Oh, her chin. Boo-boo. I think I missed that. I missed your chin, little girl. And her, I was gonna say her snot nose. Her nose. Oh my god, that was so bad. That was bad, bad, bad. That was not nice. Now, where is her nose? I think it's right here. I think I might actually just add some paint in there. I want a bit of a more interesting shape up here. Yeah. So you can see it's starting to look like a cow. I need something a really dark part. I don't have anything left. Really dark. Mouth there. There we go. Okay, this is too much of the same color. So I just have to break up. See how I can break up that contrast? Like that. Go. I don't know how much of this is here. Not much. Oh, that's her eye. Where's her eye? Right there. Her eye's right there. You can barely see it. I'm not going to worry about it. And forehead comes out. Need something dark there, and I think we're done with that. Juts out right there. Again, I'm not going for perfection here. Where's that little brush that I had? I'm going to take that metallic paint. There. Comes down, it cuts out. I think her eye is right here. Just going to get a placeholder there. Mouth, nostril, I think is right here. You can put a button there, you can put a gear cog there. That's completely up to you. And I missed a spot right there. Right there. Whoops. Okay. I think I still want to break that up a little bit. It's still too blue. It's still too blue. Let's go with a really light. Okay, madame. So I just have to trim around those parts or just wrap it around. I'm going to trim, but I need to wait for that to dry a little bit. So I'm going to put her aside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to clean up this mess. And here's a canvas. That's turning out quite nice. So we're going to be putting her in there. Oh, shoot. Forgot. Her body. Her body, her body, her body. I forgot her body. So I'm going to... So looking at the sketch, so I think I will actually want to, which I don't want to put her around the whole thing. No, I'm going to do it like that. And I'm not going to bother putting anything there. So let's just, so this is now going to go right on the canvas. This is going to go on the canvas. That's going to go on top. And some blue. Just want to roughly get that in there before I put all that stuff away. Okay. I think that might all be that I need. All right, now I'm going to put this stuff away and we'll come back. I'm going to make sure this is dry. I'm going to trim it, and then we'll assemble it on the canvas. Alrighty, so I'm just placing this down. I'm following this outline to put that line. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more and create this here. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit more. Then, where's our bottom there? There you go. And then I'm not going to draw the lines for that white patch, just put them in, but I want to get something in here for her ear. And then something here for her ear as well. I think I'm going to use the leaves for the flowers I cut off. I think I'm going to use those leaves. They're not big enough though. I'll have to create an ear for our little moo cow. Yeah, easy peasy. Easy peasy. There we go. Our beautiful little cow. And we'll just do that. There we go. Put that over there. All right, so I've got that, and she's not 100% dry yet. I got all the flowers set up. I'm going to try to use this little rose as the feature flower. And I'm going to collage this stuff down. So really, as long as I follow this, and just in there, I'm going to put, I'm just going to outline this just so I know how far I have to go. So as long as I collage outside this, I'll be fine. So this will go fairly quickly. It would if I had my brush ready. Oh. All right. Okay, so let's, her ear will be doing that last. So just, yeah, so now we just basically fill in. And you got to lose a lot of medium when you're collaging directly on canvas. Because you got to make sure it sticks. Whoops. Too far. And then you can choose if you want to wrap it around or not bother. And then once it all dries, then we're going to apply that glaze of color on top of it. And you don't have to worry about going over the lines. That's fine because we're going to be putting where'd she go? We're going to be putting this on top. This part here, like I said, it goes fairly quickly. I want to try to get the different colors going. So I don't always have the same type of blue. But like I said before, I'm going to be putting a glaze of color on top, so that's fine. Then at the end, I can actually, like off camera, I can actually wrap the text paper, add more text paper to the sides. Okay, and let's see, on here. This is a great project for kids, especially now with, you know, with the pandemic going on. Some of the kids are home. I know my grandkids on my daughter's my daughter's kids, Ava and Wolf. Shandy Holmes homeschools them. Shandy would have been a phenomenal teacher. She's got patience like oh my God. So the kids are homeschooled. Bright as a whip. And yeah, they are my grandkids, so of course I'm going to be proud of them. They got, to now it's after Christmas, they got all science stuff. I got them science stuff for Christmas. Wolf had to build a bridge kit and a solar powered robot. So he, I'm looking forward to seeing what he got. Can't say what he's getting for his birthday, just in case. Now I'm going to put her ear here, but I'm just going to fill this in here. I'm not going to worry about cutting it around the ear, because we're going to be putting her head on top. Let's break that up with another color. Oh no, this is for the side here. This one I did have to follow a shape. I can't wait to see them. I think that's the hardest part of this pandemic, is not being able to see the kids. Sophia's turning 1. I can't believe it's walking already. And Ava saw a picture of her when she was opening her gifts. My gosh, she's becoming a young woman. Okay, brown cow. How much of this do I have to still... Okay, we still got this here. So you can see how fast this is going, because we're going to be painting a glaze on top of here. So it doesn't really matter what colors. It's more for shape is what I'm looking at. And then here, like, I'll take this and I'll put this here. You just overwrap. You just overwrap that. I like that shape. The thing is, that shape doesn't follow what I need. Oh, I should put the radio on. I have to find out if I'm allowed to put the radio on in the background. You know, copyright and stuff like that. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can put the radio on. YouTube's a sticker for stuff like that. Facebook, I don't know. I don't want to be breaking any violations. There we are. Look at her. Pull that some short. Right there. Okay, so now I've got a lot of action going on here. Now I just have to build up a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to take some lighter pieces, throw some lighter pieces in here. And let's see, where is she light? Put a light one there. So I have to add the white patch. All right, so again, I'm not worried about fitting this in perfectly. I'm just taking the pieces of paper that I have and I'm popping that in. Oops, wrong way. This is a lot of work. Holy moly. I didn't think it would take this long. And let's see, let's get another shape there. I like that. I like that, Madame Cow. I don't like that though. Nope. Okay, you won't break. Then you can't be part of this piece of artwork. So I'm just overlapping some more shapes here. There's her patch. Oh, she's got a patch on their back. Little patch over here. There we go. She's got a little patch under her neck that I have to put. Right. Not a fan of that. No, not a fan of that. All right, I'm looking here. Her ear. Okay, that piece is going to go there. Oops, that moved. Oh, grr. Okay, and that piece is going to go here. Where's her head? There she is. Okay, now I'm missing something a little bit more round. Nope. Don't like that either. Don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that. You're gonna go in the garbage. You are not the boss of me. You are not the boss of me. One more piece. Line that up. So I'm thinking right about there. Okay, then I'm going to overlap a piece on that. Okay. How are we looking? We're looking pretty good. So if I wanted to, now, if you look right from here, so match that line. So this is where you can put some more of the paper. That way it actually wraps right around, and then from here down. So there's still for all this and this to fill in. That I'm going to do off camera. Don't need to worry about that right now. So we can probably just glue her down. Let's just glue her down. Make sure you use a good amount of medium. And I'm going to be using liquid glass for to glue the flowers. Okay. By using a good amount of medium, you're going to ensure that it's going to stick. Bet you guys didn't think she would look so cute, eh? Now, when we come to paint around here, you're going to see that definite line there because of the texture. Got to make sure though that press hard. Use the, something to really burnish that in. We can't paint until this layer is dry. I'm going to put matte medium over everywhere. And now, while I'm working on that, I'm just going to work on this part. So you can just skip ahead or work along with me. But yeah, it's a lot of work. And you might be thinking, why didn't you just put paper on it and then paint it after? Because this way we get all the different values, because we're only going to be using a glaze, a transparent layer of color. I also want to make sure that I have some here that overlap, so it doesn't look like the side was an afterthought. Off the ear. Oh, my neck is killing me. My neck and my hands. So, you know what I'd like to know is, have you guys created art with like collage, like art like this with farm animals before? If you have, post pics in the Facebook group. I love abstract art with farm animals. Farm animals? I love abstract. Oh, come on. I love abstract art with farm animals. This one's really dry. Look at that. Do everything with one hand and one brush. Is that going to be able to turn that over now? Lazy. I'm getting lazy. I'm not getting lazy. I'm getting tired. This is a really long project. It's just a nice way to finish the canvas. You don't have to, but I am giving this one away to somebody very special. So I want to finish the whole piece. Okay, I can continue. I can still use these ones down here. The other thing with using this much matte medium and layers upon layers upon layers is that we can also put a gloss varnish on this as well, and it'll be fine in a high humid environment. You gotta be careful with art in a humid environment because it's very hard to clean. It might get damaged. That's why, especially when I'm giving stuff away for gifts, or even when I was doing commissions before, is seal the crap out of it. Seal the crap out of it. Okay, I am seriously out of, I need a tiny little piece. And on the bottom. Wrap some of the pieces around. I'm not using any of the magenta. I'm completely out of the blue stuff now though. But that's okay because we can, this is the cow, she's black and white, so we can paint. I just want to make sure that I add lots of different shapes and textures and stuff like that. And nothing with hard edges like this. I can always wrap it around the back if need be. Nobody's going to see that part like this. So you just wrap it around like that. You can even paint this if you wanted to. Just make sure I've got it sealed everywhere. Put another layer. All right. So she's all sealed now. And the next step now is I'm just going to let her dry for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to start painting. Get the glaze on there. Whoops, I missed a spot. I missed a spot. Right here. I'm going to start painting her, and then I'm going to glue the flowers down. Make sure there's no ridges of medium. I can now come in, just put another layer here. You can even do some more painting on the canvas if you want. Look at that. That's so pretty. All right, you guys. So I will come back in about an hour to finish her off. I'm going to clean up a little bit. Got little bits of paper all over the floor. Mia should have picked it up with her tongue. And then we're going to add these little flowers. I don't need that many flowers, but could actually just, yeah, that's going to be really beautiful. The blue is actually nice too, but I want to get this one little rose. How am I going to take that apart? There we go. Get that one little rose. I'm going to have to glue her together because the whole thing just fell apart. Oopsie. I'll figure it out. All right, I'll be back in about an hour. All right, so put everything together, and I changed my mind. I'm not going to be putting a tag here. I found, well, actually, Joe found these little things that says made with love. Made with love, and I'm going to put these as earrings. And then I took some cutters, and I cut the jump ring in half, and I'm going to put it like this to make it look like it's actually an earring in the canvas. So that's going to be after. And I've got some flowers cut. All right, so now I took out some burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. I want to make something that looks like a Payne's gray. What a mess. So I'm going to take equal parts. Get that going. A bit more blue. So it's going to be 2 parts blue, 1 part burnt sienna. And the color. Oh, I have everything on the wrong side of the table. That's going to be the color. Okay, I'm going to wipe that excess. And you can actually use matte medium as your base for this if you want. So I'm just going to put a layer of paint underneath. You know what? I'm going to go to a round brush. And because we have the matte medium on there, that it's not going to get absorbed so quickly. It's actually just going to sit on top and dry. Because I can always take, where's her face? I can always take paper towel and wipe that down. When I put an ear there, I was going to use the leaves, but they just don't work. Whoops! You know what I just did? I just covered her white stripe. I'm gonna be able to wipe that. I'll be able to wipe that out. That's no big deal. Okay. You can see with the paper being a different color, it changes how the color, the finishing color. I'm not going to do much here. I'll leave that stripe. Put a little bit of black in here. See? Okay, I'm going to get a baby wipe and I'm going to wipe out that. You know what I can always do? I can always paint it white. All right, so that takes care of that. And I'm going to take a little bit more of that paint. And I'm just going to shadow the bottom here. This is so it has some contrast with the flowers. I wonder if I should paint her horns silver. Let's get that right in there. Her other eye and her nostril, which is right here. There's another little one here. That's good. Let's get something a little bit darker here for the shadow for the flowers that are going to go on her head. That's going to be flowers all here. Shadow that a little bit more. And I'm going to shadow this one a little bit. Well, I didn't even paint this one. Paint that one. There we go. I'm going to, oh, I need to do the side as well. The side I'm not too worried about because I can always paint that after. Now I'll just take a little bit off the face. Just so it's nice and soft. There we go. And think. I wonder if I should do her horns in silver. I don't know. I can ponder that. Let that dry. Now, while we're here, because it's drying time, I'm going to, oh boy, this is going to be a touchy one. I'm going to put tweezers. I want to put one earring there. Remember, this is if Frida had a cow. And oh, I just got liquid glass all over me. Come on. There. It's a little bit slippy there. What the heck am I looking for? I'm looking for my brush. Just getting the excess out of there. So it looks more like an earring. There we go. Okay, now this is the part that I'm not looking forward to. So I'm going to put liquid glass there and just on the outside, inside the hole, and just on the outside. I cut the jump rings in half with my jewelry pliers, and now I'm going to sit it because I couldn't punch a hole in the canvas. This one. Go. Ooh, it's not staying, so it's too soft. What I may do is have to use, I may have to use the heat gun just to set it. Hopefully my head's not in the way. Can't see. There we go. Let me just get the heat gun for a sec, just to stiffen it up. Could have used modeling paste too. Yeah, don't use $40 pliers to get stuff on there. There we go. So if this was on a flat board, I could have drilled a little hole and then the ring could have gone around and then these could have actually dangled. What I'm not liking is that they're perfect. Are they perfectly level? No, they're okay. Okay, so now the flowers. So I put a little bit of liquid glass on the bottom and have to these right off because I want these to lay flat. If Frida had a cow, I think this is what she would look like. Colorful. I think the flowers would be a lot more colorful though. Oops, this one fell apart. This one fell apart. I have to put it back together. Where'd that little middle piece go? I can work on an artist trading card that's tiny, but for some reason, something like this, I'm having a lot of trouble with. Oh, a button inside. Oh, I don't have them that small. Sugar. A button would have been nice inside. Little white flower. Oh, the rose. I had to fix it. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Actually, maybe I don't need to cut these so short. Like I said, I haven't done this before, so this is a little bit of a challenge for me. I would have preferred using paper flowers, but I didn't have any. Actually, I only had one. Oh, I like that. Should have used a glue gun. On her face. These are a little big. Put one. Yeah, they're not flat enough. I don't want to use too many blue ones because they're dark. They're too dark. Nope, that's not being cooperative. These ones I like because they're bent. These are bent. Yeah, nice. Okay, now do we have another beige one that I can use? I'm trying to think of how does she have her. Frida always has her flowers all the way around, but I have to make sure I find one that's bent on the side. I think they're all done now. There's none left that are bent on the side. Now, the other one I can do, I would have to find out a steampunk artist to say if so-and-so had a cow and then use gears and cogs. That'd be kind of cool. Now, I'm going to have to cut the leaf. Oopsie. These are not cooperating. I'm going to have to put something heavy on them. Where's the other leaf? Uh-oh. There it is. Not a fan of these plastic things. Yeah, right there. Put a bit of contrast in there. There we go. Oh, she's looking beautiful. But I still think I would have preferred a white flower there instead. I'm not a fan of the blue. It's too much blue, but it does tie in. Oh, there we go. I pre-glued some of these down. See, okay, now where are they? This is the only one I had, but this would have been really pretty. That would have been pretty. What else have I got? Yeah, no, that's about it. These are a little bit big though. I don't think I can add any more. No, let's leave it like that. Okay, so that's that. And these are starting to set. That's that. Okay, now I've got to paint her cap. I've got to paint her details now. And I think I'm going to use gesso. I'm not going to use white paint, because the white paint will be too transparent. And get a tiny brush. Okay, following the... Oh, this brush is damaged. you kidding me? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a little, tiny little brush. All right, so what is with my, oh, that's a comb brush. What is with my brushes? Okay, let's try. What the heck is that one? You know what? My brushes got damaged being put in a box. Okay, so there's that. And the other eye is shadowed. And I'm going to get a little bit of blue there. I think I actually have to get a darker color. Top. Yeah, this is looking really pretty. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, looking. I'm going to go with a, where's that other round brush? Take the gesso, and I'm just going to make this a little bit more white right here. And on our forehead. And this is kind of beigey, so I'm not gonna worry about this part here. And she's got white parts here. I'm not gonna worry about that either. Just gonna put a little bit of highlight on her horn. Yeah, nice. That one's not really visible. Beauty. And I need more blue. Let's deepen that shadow a little bit more, and she's finished. She's finished. Now, if you don't have Payne's Gray, you can work with black if you want. Carbon black. This needs to be a little bit darker. And this needs to be a little bit darker. There's not enough definition. So there you go. So just a fun little project. I didn't trim the paper there. Just a fun little project for you guys to play with. And I'm gonna make that black. Just a little way to work some collage stuff, and I hope that the lady who asked the question, well, the two ladies asked the questions, hopefully this will help you use up scrap papers and, you know, give you some ideas on what you can do with collaging and mixed media, how to, you know, do a mixed media piece with a cow. You know, you can, don't even limit it just to cow. You can do something with, you know, any farm animal, any animal, a pet. There we go. All right. That's going to look there. I think I just dropped something on the ground. If Frida had a cow, I think this is what she would look like. I really do. I think this is what she would look like. So I would let this sit now for a good few days because there's a lot of layers in here. And, you know, double check the flowers. They're popping up. These are just cheap silk flowers. I probably would have maybe did a bit more effort on the paper flowers, but yeah. So that's just the one thing I would probably change. Let's just take some of that paint off. I want to see a bit more of the text. And with this, you can choose to put varnish around it if you want. There's enough layers of the mixed media, the matte medium, that I'm not going to need to worry about it. And you can do another splatter if you want. But there we go. So I hope that you enjoyed this little project. It was a very long one, a lot harder than I thought it would be. And so let me know what you think. And if you've done mixed media collage like this with, you know, with animals, go into the Facebook group. If you're watching this on YouTube, go into the Facebook group. The link is in the description below, and post some pictures over there just to show me what you've done. And if you're already in the Facebook group, yay. Yeah, so post pictures, and because I love mixed media art, like collages and layers and stuff with animals. I think they're so cute. There is another one that I want to try to work on, which is a very abstract of a puppy, and I might want to do something with that. So just gotta make sure these things here are not in too much pain. All right, you guys, I am going to let you go. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and until I see you next time, stay inspired.